inside, but I'm talking about outside or inside when it comes to renos. Okay, there's so many of our viewers out there that are planning a renovation or thinking to themselves, I want to fix my place, but I need to figure out how I'm going to get the money to make this happen.
Yeah, and you know what? I love that people are planning because, you know, I always talk about how important it is to plan.
Plan, plan,
And
plan.
plan is, yes, what is your budget? And I always say that there's two ways that people generally set their budget.
Yeah.
So people either say to me, they'll say, Karen, I have all these things I want to do. How much is that going to cost me?
Yeah.
That's one way. The other way is, Karen, I only want to spend X dollars, you know, so what can I accomplish on my list to do these things?
Right.
So that's great. It's great to start with that because then you have a comfort level of what you want to do, but then where do you find the money? So the great thing is that, you know, we own our homes, we're paying down our mortgages, so we've been putting equity into our homes.
Yeah.
So why not at this point, since we're going to do a renovation, which is adding value to your home, why not consider refinancing your mortgage so that you can take the money out to put it back in to increase value? And the amazing thing is President's Choice Financial has all these competitive mortgages, and the thing that I just learned, which is unbelievable, is you can actually get PC points with a mortgage. I'm like, what?
You mean like the same PC points that you're getting at the grocery store and all that stuff you can get on your morttage?
Exactly. So
That's
the nice thing is you can like buy groceries, or you can buy some stuff for your house, or in my case, you can buy some clothing.
Right.
Because you know what?
Right.
Because when I go grocery shopping and I might come back with, say, a pair of shoes or jeans, I feel like, well, hey, I'm just doing the grocery shopping. I'm not really out shopping, so it's like you're getting a jail-free card.
Right, right.
You know, bring some clothes home.
That's hilarious. Okay, so yeah, there are so many ways that you can sort of figure out how to get the financing, and it really depends on the level of project.
It does.
So you've got this gorgeous exterior space that we want to take a look at now. You can see the before shot. So
this is
on. Fine.
Oh my gosh, well, you know what? It's a lovely cottage, but what happened was this family grew and the kids got older, and so the teenagers and mom and dad, they still love to entertain, and they didn't want to always do it together.
Yeah.
So we created something called the Party Pavilion. Ooh. So it gives us 2 entertaining spaces. So isn't that amazing?
That's gorgeous.
So we started with nothing,
and
we built this amazing space. And we have one more picture to show you as well. So you can see that big stone structure.
Gorgeous.
It's actually a fireplace. There's a great seating area. There's a bar. And by the way, that clock is actually, it's from a mill. It's an old wheel from a mill. And I put arms on it to look like a clock. And by the way, it's set at 5 o'clock, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh, it's time for a cocktail there.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, but
that's amazing.
People always ask, how much do those kinds of projects cost?
Right. So the thing you need to think about when it comes to renos is you do have to think about permits.
You do.
Right?
And
how much are those going to cost?
And sometimes those permits are building permits. Sometimes there's conservation authority if you're on a lake like we were here. There might be committee of adjustments if you're going to do something that's not within zoning. So it's good to know all those costs up front, but it's a very tiny, tiny amount of your budget. It's a couple of percent.
Now what about design, engineering, if you're really getting in there and like changing the bones of the structure?
Exactly. So you need your drawings, you need to have the design. So a lot of people, for example, if you're doing an addition or topping up your house, you absolutely need your permit drawings, but you also need to do your millwork drawings and the things that are going to go into that space. So you need to budget for that, and you have to think about that. So there's that, and then there's any kind of third-party consultant. So in this situation, we used a lot of reclaimed wood. So it's not engineered already, so we had to have the entire structure engineered.
Got it.
So to show that it was structurally sound.
Okay.
And that's still not a huge percentage of your budget.
Labor.
There we go.
Okay, so that, I mean, all of those people that are working inside your space or outside your place, that's got to be a good chunk.
That's one of the biggest chunks of your project. And you can imagine, sometimes we buy things that are already put together or engineered for us, in which case we pay more money for the product. So you can see there's a real balancing act. Whereas if, for example, if somebody's doing masonry work and they're laying brick by brick by brick by brick, that's a lot of time.
Absolutely.
You know, whereas if it comes as a big sheet and it's already put together, you're going to pay more money for that, but less money for the labor.
Right. Okay. So speaking of brick by brick by brick, you got to think about materials as well.
Yes. So materials, and this is where budgets really change.
Yeah.
So I often say to clients, it's like, let's figure out functionally what you need. Let's figure out a floor plan, or let's put together a plan of what we need. And where we can save money or spend money is on those finishes or those materials. So one of the things we did, for example, at the Party Pavilion, which was fantastic, is we did a poured concrete pad.
Yes.
Which, first of all, it's fast.
Yeah.
But what we did was we kind of did it, it's called stamped concrete, right? So we stamped the surface to look like flagstone. And we did different colors. So it's actually, you know, you can sometimes save a little bit of money on the time. Because it happens a lot faster, but it really gives you that great feeling in the space as well.
Very cool. Okay, so then the other things you have to think about furniture, and I want to talk a little bit about the furniture to consider in a space, because you really have to be thinking about the environment that you're in, right?
Yes, so important. So for example, I love this because it's small in scale,
Yeah.
you know, but we've got our little footrest that pulls out.
That's so cool.
But it's also got a bit of heft to it, a bit of weight. So the nice thing is that, say imagine you're at the lake or you're
Yeah.
on a balcony where maybe you have high winds, you know, this isn't gonna go flying off your patio set.
Right.
So that's important. And the nice thing is, you know, we've got this resin wicker, so it you know, withstands the elements, so it's great, but it's nice and heavy. But if you, for example, maybe you're working in a place where you have limited space and you want your children to be able to play, but you want a dining area. So if we
nice.
had a table like this, the nice thing is that it's lightweight. So you can see these chairs are lightweight.
Yeah.
They're also stackable. So
Oh, that's
say,
good.
you know, you wanted to have a nice dinner or a lunch and you had all your family over and then the kids wanted to play.
Yeah.
This would take 2 seconds to whip it out of the way and you have an amazing space for your kids to play. And by the way, all our furniture
Yeah.
comes from the home collection at the Real Canadian Superstore.
Very cool. Okay, I
Yeah.
love the space savers. I love that. You can whisk things away.
Yeah.
I have to say, in terms of accessories, they're getting better and better every season. This looks like one of those really heavy platters you would have had in the day. It's like light, guys.
Yeah, I would use
this
these
can be
inside.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're having dinner parties, you'd be like, hey,
Hey. No, we actually use these now for every day
I
because,
know.
you know, why not have stuff that looks cute but the kids can't destroy?
Exactly.
Right?
Makes
It's
a lot
really
of
nice.
sense.
Very nice. So that was a really good lesson on how to get the money for the renovation and a really good breakdown of what you need to think about. So thank you for that.